T, the channel that covers reality TV from a mental health perspective. Now, as you can see, the title of this video is Big Brother Premiere Party, I think. What's the T? Now, I'll be completely honest and transparent here. I only created this video and put that title there because of Chocolate asking, hey, what's the tea of what happened in the event? Now, disclaimer and some background. Ironically and funny enough, when I went to Big D's birthday party in, I forget what year now, but I want to say 2021. Yeah, it had to be 2021. It was November of 2021 because the Big Brother season 24 had just finished. And Taylor and Joseph were there. I think those were the only two from the Big Brother 24 cast. But those were pretty much high profile people, especially Taylor. And I actually remember Chocolate being on my recap thread, my recap video of my experience at that party and asking me plenty of questions, along with others. It wasn't just her. Plenty of people were asking me questions, and the majority of the people that were asking me those questions were people that were and some are still regular supporters of my YouTube page. So I'm just here like, I'm doing something cool for the people who support me by letting them know who I spoke to at the event, who I didn't speak to at the event, who was a good time and who might have been stuck up, and what people I saw interacting with who, like I was just giving a breakdown of that stuff. For me, it was just, I was a very new reality TV vlogger at that time. So I wasn't thinking about the fandom. I wasn't thinking about perception. I was really just thinking, hey, it's content. I'm here to make content, and this is the content that I'm here to make. And then I remember talking mostly about how fun it was, how I loved meeting 4 out of the 6 cookout members and how they treated me like family, and they met me for the first time, and I had fun with all of them, which was Big D, Azah, Hannah. Who else is on the cookout? Why am I blanking? Kyland and X were not there, and the other 4 cookout members, Big D, Azah, Hannah. My mind is blanking out. It's gonna bother me. Xavier, Big D. Hi, Adam. Xavier, Big D. Kyland, Tiffany. Did I not say Tiffany? If I didn't say Tiffany, it's Tiffany. Okay, that's what it was. That was gonna bother me. Yeah, so Tiffany, Hannah, Azah, Big D. Those 4 were there. And I was talking about how much fun I had with each of them. A bunch of people from like the party. And I talked about conversations I had with people, and it was very fun. It was my first ever. It wasn't a Big Brother event, but it kind of was like a Big Brother event in a sense because of all of who was there. So in one little segment, people were asking me Taylor Joseph questions. Do they look like they're in love? Do I think they're gonna last? And how are they like? How do they interact with you? Again, I'm just answering questions. So I'm not thinking as a politically correct, polished vlogger or something. I'm just thinking of myself as just a fan who's just talking with other fans and just giving them an authentic version of what happened from my perspective, because that's what I am. I'm not somebody who really goes extra lengths to change myself for theirs. I was just giving my honest answer, which was basically, hey, um, I had great conversations with this person, this person, a night. And then I said I didn't speak to him because he spent the majority of the time in the VIP section, and then, him and Taylor left early. So I'm like, I don't really feel like I said anything bad. I didn't even think about that as something that someone would possibly think was bad. Then I see that video that had maybe 50, 60 people in the comment section, then all of a sudden the next day or the day after had like 3,000 views, and then it went up 5,000, 10,000. So for a vlog, if it was about an episode of Big Brother, or if it was about, hi Mr. Drake, if it was about an episode of Big Brother, or if it was like something popular that happened within the show, I would be like, okay, the 10,000 views can probably mostly be attributed to like just the fact that the event that was taking place was popular. But the fact that it was the off season and it was November and people were just, for whatever reason, flocking to that video, I was thinking to myself, oh, I guess you did something here. I guess you did something here in a good way where people are now gravitating towards you. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to pause. I'm going to have to pause for like 2 minutes. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to be sitting a bit. So, anyways, what I was saying was, in the off season, everybody knows, unless you're like a Rob Has a Podcast or Sharon Tharp or one of these big channels that cover reality TV, everybody knows that in the off season of Big Brother, it's hard to come by views and viewers and all that stuff. So I was thinking a video in November, in late November, about a reality TV party that I went to. I didn't think it would have 10,000 plus views. So I was like, maybe my hard work is just paying off and people are just gravitating towards my channel because of that. Come to find out, it wasn't because of my hard work. It wasn't because of anything that I had done or said. It wasn't because of my personality. It was just because somebody took like a little snippet of what I said about Taylor and Joseph being in the VIP section and said, I don't know what they said. They put it on Reddit and basically said that I was hating on them. I don't want to see them succeed. I'm Uncle Tom, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, I didn't know this at this time. But then I started looking at the comments. People were like, you're weird. You're a stalker. You're a creep. you are a hater, you're this and you're this. And I was wondering, why in the world are they saying that? And then I started getting all these messages on my socials, my Instagram in particular, where people were like, oh, I started out a fan of you, I was liking your channel, then all of a sudden you started hating on the black woman, and then I don't mess with you no more, blah blah blah. So I was like, what are you saying that based on? And I finally responded to someone, because I was just blocking them. They said, I'm basing that on the the nasty things that you said about Taylor and also Joseph in your video. Hi, Rebecca Towns. I'm okay. And I said, what nasty things? Oh, that you don't respect black women, that you think that her relationship is a facade, this and this, whatever. This person was telling me things that I didn't actually say in the video. So I asked this one person, I'll never forget. I asked this one fan. I said, "Can you please do me a favor? Here is the link to the video that you're talking about. Can you watch the video in its entirety? And if you find something that you thought was disrespectful to Taylor, to black women, to Joseph, something that you thought was out of line, out of pocket, I will issue a public apology to you and to those people. I will publicly apologize if you watch the entire video in full. Find that, tell me, give me the timestamps of the things that you thought were egregious, and I will change those things or fix those things, correct those things, whatever the case is." They said, okay. They come back after watching the whole video and they tell me, "Mark, I have to admit something." I said, "What's that?" "Well, I saw a couple of clips. There was no context to them, but there was a couple of clips about things that you said on your live. And I looked at those things, and I looked at the narrative that was being painted alongside of those things, and I wanted to cancel you because I thought you were disgusting." And I said, "Well, what do you think now?" And the person was like, "There's possibly like a few small areas that could be misunderstood, or maybe you didn't state it the right way that you wanted to get that particular message across. But overall, as a whole, that whole hour and a half video or whatever, I think it was about an hour and a half, I see nothing that is anything close to the things that these people were saying about you." And the person said to me, "I'm sorry for jumping off the deep end and thinking that that was the type of person that you're like." And that was so incredibly validating for me. It was incredible. And so from there, what happened was, okay, I realized how the Big Brother fandom is like. There's a toxic sector of the Big Brother fandom, which is most of them. I am not afraid to ever say that anymore, that I feel like 80% of the Big Brother fandom is toxic. And I know you might think a lot of that's a big statement, but let's say there's 10 million people in the world who follow Big Brother. My thing is, 8 million of them are toxic and 2 million are not. That's plenty that are not. It's not the majority, but it's enough that you can formulate fan bases and fan communities with people who are like-minded. There's plenty of them available, but don't expect that from the vast majority. That was a whole big thing that was basically meant to be a disclaimer to anything that I say here. It's not hate. If I say it, it doesn't mean this is the only possible perspective. It just means it's mine. It's my perspective based on what I saw and my own views. Now, getting all that out of the way, you can stamp this at 15 minutes if you want to start watching only for my explanation. If nobody comes on, because there's not a lot of people on right now. Hi, John Phillips. Yeah. Yeah, about 5 minutes. Yeah, so there's not a lot of people on. If nobody comes on, I'm not really doing a Q&A. I'll just quickly run through it. What's the tea? Now, I'll tell you the truth. Season 25, I feel like there was lots of tea. Season 24, I feel like there was lots of tea. Those are the other two seasons that I was there for. 24 and 25. And this is now 26. This is now the 26th cast, I mean. Alright. Give me a second. Give me a second. Coming out. I'm waiting a second. Okay. Hi, Jem. Basically, all the other seasons that I went to these premiere parties for, there was a lot more tea, I feel like, for those seasons. I know there's still some tea for this season, but not much. I don't think there's much. And if there was, I wasn't paying any attention to the off season. The main things that people were asking me, like, hey, was there any signs or indications that Cam and Chelsea are together? I mean, from my observation, and remember, if you are not too smart and don't know what my observation means, it means that what my own two eyes saw. I didn't really see them together when I saw them. I saw the first night, I don't think Cam came at all for the karaoke night. The second night, Cam came, but I saw him there. He interacted with the fans for maybe the first couple hours. He left early. And when I saw him, he was not there with Chelsea or anything like that. Hi, CJ. He was there, but he wasn't there with Chelsea. All right, y'all. I'm still here, but I am going to be back in like 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. What up, Doc? I'm back. Okay, what time is it? Okay. All right. Time is about 10:18. Okay. Okay. So back to what I was saying. Yeah, I didn't really see them physically together. Does that mean that they aren't together? No, it actually means nothing at all. It just means that I, throughout the night, did not see them physically in the same location. Were they? Were they not? I don't know, but I didn't see that. When I saw Cam, actually, he came in, he walked in and he was by himself, and then he made his way around to different fans. When I saw Chelsea, she had somebody with her. I mean, she walked in with somebody. When I say with her, I don't want that to be misconstrued either. But she had somebody there with her, and then she walked around and she was greeting fans and everything. And then I saw her. She was mostly with. She was a lot with Leah. Excuse me. She was a lot with Leah. She was some with like T-Core and Rabina. And towards the end, a lot of them were together in that seating area that you guys saw me in my live. I was sitting right with all of them. Though I wouldn't be surprised if most of them don't remember that I was there. Let's see. I don't know. What else is people asking me? Cedric, I don't know why. Angela was not there. Matt was not there. So that Matt Angela thing or that Angela Chelsea thing was not a thing because those people were not present for this party. Matt, Angela, Kenny wasn't there. Lisa was there. Lisa was cool. You know, like the way how people were like, Lisa's annoying. I hate Lisa. This about Lisa. The cast seemed to be totally fine with Lisa. And the fans loved Lisa because she brought her glitter around. Y'all saw at the end of the night, I had her put some of the glitter on my face. So I had a fun conversation with her. Chelsea, like I said, was great to talk to. She's so super down to earth. Kind of, there's only one Hannah, but I want to say Hannah-like in our interaction in a sense of, I always say this, sometimes I talk to show people and I feel like them at an event is an extension of them on the TV show. So that's not the vibes I got from her. That's not the vibes I got from Leah, from MJ. Most of them seemed generally down to earth. I don't know if there was something going on with Joseph, but oh no, not another Joseph for them to try to line me up about. But again, from my experience with him, he was not particularly sociable when he got there. I mean, not that he wasn't nice. I spoke to him for a little bit. I was like, another mustache man thinking I could get him to crack a smile. He was like, Vince, oh yeah, I'm for Vince is awesome. And then he went back to his phone. So, but I don't know. Like, I give people grace and credit because I don't know if he's always like that. Sometimes people are preoccupied. Sometimes you could come into an event and we expect them to be on. Something could be going on in their personal life that throws them off. Funny enough, I said the same thing about Taylor. I was like, I know that she had some kind of recent trauma at that point in time that she had experienced with the fandom that I had seen her express on her membership page, which I was a member of, that she said was something that made it hard for her to connect with the fandom. So I was like, that might be the reason why there was a little bit less fan interaction with her than I expected. Same thing I'm saying for Joseph. When I looked at him, I mean, maybe I'm misreading it, but he looked like he was kind of going through it to some degree. Hi, Cass, and hi, Hosey Hanny. That was my experience with Joseph. Tucker was Tucker. He might have been a little bit more, than other times that I had seen him. Or the other time. I shouldn't say other times. I only saw him in whatever month that was last year when he had just been eliminated, maybe like October or something, I don't know. And then I saw him the karaoke party the Wednesday this year, and then the Thursday. This is my third time seeing him. So this particular cast, I shouldn't even say this particular cast, because the 25 cast was just as bad, if not worse, when it comes to like the best politically correct way that I can say this is you better get to them within the first hour of them being there to make sure that you have a coherent conversation for a lot of them, because they're there to get they're there to have a good time. Let's just say that they're there to have a good time. And who else have I forgotten? I touched on Cam, Chelsea, Leah, MJ, T-Core. T-Core was super nice. T-Core said she loves New York and she's trying to move to New York. Rubina so I said this before, Rubina is kind of like a life of the party type of person, just like Tucker. So it was almost sad thinking about the fact that they're not together, because they have such similar energy. They're both people who like to have fun. They're both extremely sociable. That was my experience with Rubina when I met her. And I said, I said to her, you know what? I think I said it on my camera at some point. I was like, you know what? It's so cool to have met you and to see that you are the same person with the same energy that you had when I saw you on TV or when I see you on social media. And she was like, oh no, sir, you're mistaken. I'm a better person with more energy and better energy than whatever you saw. I was like, excuse me, I'm sorry. That was Rubina, lightning in a bottle, just like Tucker. Now, in terms of their interactions together, again, I did not see them interact. That does not mean they didn't. Obviously, they must have had some interaction, because they're still friends and he lives here. I don't even know. It's possible she even stayed with him. Who knows? Because a lot of them come and stay with him when they come to New York to save some money, I'm sure. So they were in the same room several times. I never specifically saw them speaking, but doesn't mean anything. But that's just my experience. Let's see. I did mention MJ. I only spoke to her a little bit briefly. I think I covered basically all the 26 cast that was there that I interacted with. Now, the 25 cast, I don't think there was any of them there. Oh, Izzy was there. Izzy was the one person there that I saw from the 25 cast. The 24 cast, I didn't see anyone that I knew from the 24 cast. Taylor wasn't there this year. This is the first year in 24, 25. Well, I guess she came to Big D's party, and that's the first time I saw her. And then I saw her at the 25 premiere party. The 26 premiere party. Oh, she was there also at the 26 premiere party. I knew that I had seen her at 2 premiere parties. Yes, she was there at last year's, but she wasn't there this time. The season 23 cast, the huge, as they say, the huge. Aza, Hannah, Derek, Christian was there. Christian has also been there at all of them, even though it's like it doesn't seem like a lot of people taking pictures with him or anything like that. Some do. I'm not saying none. Some do, but Christian from BB23 is usually there. Then there's people from old seasons. There was Adam. I got Adam from season 13. There's a lady there that they told me was from season 2, but I don't really know her name. I could find her name when I get off here, but I don't know her name. There's people from older seasons sprinkled around, but the tea is mainly going to come from the most present season. And to be quite honest with y'all, I just don't think that there is much tea going around that night. The biggest tea that you would ever be able to find is probably like, if I was really somebody who was there for tea, I probably would have stayed until all of them left so that I could see who leaves with who does what, where they're going. Because at the end of the night, man, I just chose to leave because I'm like, I'm not. So if it was me out there with friends, yeah, I'm going to stay around. I'm going to stay to the end, and then we're all going to go to our hotels or whatever. But since I'm not involved in anything that they were doing, and me being there would just be like me being there to observe what they're doing, I'm not that kind of blogger. So that's the only tea that I got for y'all. I'm sorry that the tea might not be hot enough. It's like lukewarm at best. But the thing about my channel subscribers and members, even if it's not my favorite thing to do, like if they make a request, I'm going to hop on this camera and try my best to honor or fulfill that request the best that I can. And that's the tea that I got. You missed the whole thing, Tasha, and unfortunately I'm not repeating it. But the video is going to be posted. So you left with us and went to buy expensive wings. Yeah, I went to buy expensive wings, but they were good. They were good wings. I mean, I'm not gonna say they were the best wings that I ever had, but they were solid enough. And they gave me 2 free chicken strips, and the chicken strips were also very good. They're very big, so I had them for breakfast the next day because I could have eaten the 5 wings and the chicken strips. And I know 5 wings doesn't sound like a lot, but these are big wings, y'all. These are, because when I saw 5 wings for $12, I was like, that's twice the price. That's that Manhattan prices. That's those Manhattan prices for the wings. That's what I was thinking. And then when I saw them in the box, I was like, these are actually, I don't know where they get the chicken from, but the wings that I would buy near me, even though they're half the price, they'd be half the size of those wings that I got at that spot. Hey Chocolate, you're gonna have to catch us in the replay. I actually mentioned you at the beginning of the video. But yeah, you're gonna have to catch us in the replay. But just as a spoiler, there's not really much tea, to tell you the truth. I just answered some of the questions that I've been getting since I left, and spoke about what I saw, my own observations, but it's not the kind of tea that there was for season 24 or 25, because those seasons were so drama. Those seasons were so much more drama than this one. Like, this one had its own little drama, but on the Big Brother scale, it was nothing to write home about. Hi, Victoria. The tea gone, we drank it. That's funny. The biggest tea I would say would probably be like Kylan's interactions with people, but that's not even tea anymore. You can expect that. You can expect that Kylan will be around the best looking ladies every single time we're at an event. All I wanted to know, I answered that. I answered that question. I mean, I can answer it again, but I already said this at the beginning. They were around each other, but they were not around each other. As in, the times that I personally saw them, they were sometimes in the same vicinity, but I didn't even see them, interacting one to one. Again, disclaimer, since I will have to give this disclaimer again, that does not mean that they did not interact. It just means that I didn't see them interact. I saw them in the same spaces together with the same people, with the same groups of friends. I saw them in the same areas, but I did not see them having any sort of conversation, interaction, dancing with each other. Does that mean they did or didn't? It doesn't mean that they did not. I just didn't see it. Since people were stuck on stupid with this thing with Taylor 2 years ago, I'm going to keep repeating that. I, Mark, did not see them interact while I was there. There was probably like several hundred people in that building, and at times they were within the same space or within the same circle, but I didn't see them speaking really. But they're still friends, so I'm sure that they speak, but I don't think they were around each other a terrible amount at the event. It's true, but I know why Chocolate is asking, because there are times where people are broken up or just friends, and then you go see them at an event and you're like, that doesn't look like broken up or just friends to me. So yeah, it wasn't something where they were on each other like that. And truthfully, I don't know. I didn't see Rabina as much as I saw Tucker, because I was really around Tucker for a significant part of the night. I don't know what Tucker did at the end of the night, but I do know that he was not thinking about Rabina at the end of the night. I mean, at the event. I'm gonna say it like that. I don't think that he was thinking about Rabina at the event in particular. And I don't mean he wasn't thinking about her as a person or whatever. I just mean he was open. He was open to availabilities. That's how I'm gonna say it. He was open to availabilities while he was there. I don't know about her, because I didn't necessarily see anyone speaking to her in the same type of way. I'm sure they did, but I didn't see it. Monte ain't fooling with none of them. Monty, I saw Monty a couple years. Was he season 25? No, he was yeah, so I saw him last year and the year before. He didn't come this year. There was no turnout, like I said, for the 24 cast. Oh, Turner was there. Forgot about Turner. Turner was there for the 24 cast. Turner is like the least problematic cast member, one of the least problematic cast members ever. He's very just grounded and down to earth. Tucker was around Mitch. Mitch was getting the feels from Tucker, man. Mitch was getting the feels. Lisa was coming around at the end, and she was just like, "What's up with this?" She was annoying him. It seemed like, actually, by asking him about the bromance. Yeah, I got glitter. Lisa brought her glitter. She was giving everyone glitter, and then I was like way towards the end of the night, and I was like, you know what? Let me get glitter. Let me get some glitter from her, and then let me get to talking to her. And then I was so pissed because she gave me the glitter. Then I had her on there for like 3-4 minutes asking her about her Big Brother and what reality show she's into, and she was answering all that. And then I come and look at the replay of the video, and y'all couldn't hear any of that. It was muffled. So, um, but I mean, she was telling me her favorite show is The Challenge. She was like, she was a huge DM fan. R.I.P. to DM. She was a big fan of CT. I asked if she's friends with any challenge people or met them. She was like Kyland. She didn't really list challenge people, but she listed like people who have been on the challenge but had an origin show somewhere else. I'm leaving in about. Oh, you could hear her, but was it muffled? Because when I listened back, it sounded muffled. Yeah, I wondered because you guys were responding in the chat. So then when I watched it back and I couldn't hear it well, I was like, is this how it sounded? I'm trying to think of what else. No, like I think that that's, I think that that's about it. Yep. It was a little quiet. Okay, so maybe when I'm trying to post it, I'm just going to adjust the volume and see if I can make it louder so that everyone can hear the questions that I was asking her. Yeah, so anyways, yeah, that's all I got. Unless you guys have any more questions, I'll stay on for another minute or two. If it's a question I already answered, though, I'm just going to say refer back to the beginning of the video. Not the very beginning, but from 15 minutes timestamp is when I got into that. The first 14 minutes and 59 seconds was just my super long disclaimer of how I want to make sure the best that I can that this does not turn into the BB24 Big D party situation. So just to let you know, if you don't want to hear any of that repeat it again, skip to the 15-minute mark. All right, Mike Jax, you're out of here. Ooh. Oh, sorry, Cass. Wait a minute. Cass's message came out right before this other person. My fault. You put a message out right above this Mike Jax person, and I hid you by accident. But you're unhidden. I saw it right away this time, so I don't have to wonder where you went. Okay. I didn't eat breakfast. I'm about to do that as soon as I get off here. Angela was not there. I just said I wasn't going to answer these repeat questions, but your wrench. Hold on. Okay. You should be good to go now. You should be good to go, Cass. And I guess that's about it. So Just put a comment in here so I can see if your wrench is there before I get off. Okay, it's there. Okay. Thanks for joining. I might jump back on later evening or so. But that's the tea video. Most of you didn't see it from where it started. So 15-minute mark once again. You can watch the whole thing, but if you are not interested in my background story / disclaimer, 15 minutes and it's right into it. So please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified when I drop some more great content. Thank you.